Hi guys, it's Matthew here. Welcome back to another video on my channel today. Today's episode, guys, I actually have a pretty unique ranking to do, as a matter of fact. So I realize I haven't done any horror rankings yet this year on Halloween because I already ranked the Halloween, Scream movies and the Saw stuff, all those kinds of horror franchises a couple of months back this year. So maybe I'll do a tier list in one of these next videos where I put all those franchises together and do a ranking of them. It's just an idea for me, but yeah, I thought for this Halloween season it would be a good idea to rank the post-COVID Blumhouse horror movies. So I have 10 of them listed so far, so I'm not including like Netflix original movies or Prime originals, nothing like that. So I'm just including the theatrical theater releases, and there are some new entries on this list that we have gotten this year, as a matter of fact, and I cannot wait to go through them, guys. And be sure to share your ranking down below in the comment section. My list is not the right list, and it's just my list, and I would also love to see your list as well, as a matter of fact, guys. But real quick, guys, if you guys are new to the channel, I do more than just movies and physical media related content. I also do Lego related stuff. I play video games. I do all sorts of stuff like that here on my channel. So if you guys like to watch anything like that on YouTube, be sure to go check out my channel, because there will definitely be something in there for you to enjoy. And be sure you click like on this video, share this video with friends, and hit that red subscribe button. But most importantly, make sure you press that notification bell so you don't miss anything in the future. And those of you guys that are not new to the channel, if you haven't subscribed already, please make sure you go subscribe right after this video, guys. So without any further ado, guys, enjoy the video. Let's get started here. Okay, so coming in last place at number 10. If you guys are familiar with my channel, and if you guys know me really well by now, it should not be any surprise on what I'm gonna put in last place. And it is The Exorcist Believer, as a matter of fact. So now, you guys, so if you guys have followed me for any determined amount of time, you'll probably know that I am not huge about the Exorcist films. I'm not even huge about the original one. And I know there's fans of the original Exorcist, and I get it. It's one of the most celebrated horror movies of all time, but I don't like the Exorcist movies at all. Mainly because I don't like watching awful things happening to children. And that's what these Exorcist that's what these movies are. It's just a bunch of demons that possess little girls, and I absolutely despise that, as a matter of fact. And this was actually, I've never actually seen an Exorcist movies. I've never seen an Exorcist movie all the way through, but from what I've seen, this one was definitely the worst for me, as a matter of fact, because it's more upsetting in many different ways, and it just feels like they like took the original film and then they just made it more upsetting and more terrifying, and I do not care for that, as a matter of fact. Like I heard there's supposed to be 2 more movies attached to this one, 2 more Exorcist movies, because Blumhouse said, hey, remember when we did the latest Halloween trilogy and David Gordon Green did a phenomenal job and it had been a while? since they released a Halloween film. Well, it's been a little while since somebody released an Exorcist film too. So let's get David Gordon Green back, and then we'll have him do a trilogy of the Exorcist movies, because it's also been a while since somebody released an Exorcist movie. So yeah, I just find this movie very upsetting, and like I said, I'm not super into this franchise, but I did hear that's what happened, and I also heard a lot of people did not like this movie, and it ended up in their top 20. It ended in their top 10 worst movies of 2023, even in the top 10, even in the top worst horror movies of 2023 as well. And I also heard, as of right now, a lot of people wouldn't be shocked if they rebooted the Exorcist franchise in another way and pretend like the Exorcist Believer didn't really happen. And David Gordon Green already left the project because this one did not do so well like the Halloween 2018 film, as a matter of fact. So yeah. Well, enough about this movie, guys. Like I said, I don't like the Exorcist franchise. I don't like this movie, so it ends in last place on this list. At number 9, I have The Black Phone. So now, I know there's fans of this movie, but for me personally, I was not a fan of this movie because I actually turned this movie off halfway through because I lost interest in this movie really fast. I didn't really understand the whole story. I didn't really understand the whole story that it was trying to set up. I didn't get the whole situation with the bad guy, the grabber, played by Ethan Hawke. As a matter of fact, yeah. I did not care for this movie at all. I actually thought that this movie was kind of boring. This movie didn't make much sense to me. So yeah. And I do like Ethan Hawke's performance as the grabber, but the main issue that I have with this movie is that I didn't understand it, and I wasn't really understanding I wasn't really understanding the whole story with all the characters in the movie, as a matter of fact. So yeah, I feel bad putting it this low on the list because when this movie came out in 2021, which was a couple of years ago, I know that there was I know a lot of you people were fans of this movie, as a matter of fact, but unfortunately this movie was just not for me. Up next, at number 8, I have to give it to Night Swim. So now, this was a Blumhouse horror movie that came all the way back in January this year. And I did not like this movie at all. It was actually one of my most anticipated horror films of this year because I really enjoy a lot of the Blumhouse movies, as a matter of fact. But this movie in particular, it just did not work for me at all. Like when I saw the previews for this movie, it looked like this. It looked like these people go swim at night time, and then while it's nighttime and they're swimming, these little monsters come out of nowhere and try to get them or eat them or something like that. That's what it looked like from the trailer. But but I got like the first quarter of it right, because this family buys a house, they go swimming, and then there's just like these demons at the bottom of the pool, as a matter of fact, that try to get and possess the family. But but in the end, here's what it ends up against. The mother tries to find out what's going on. She meets the original owner of the house, but because and then the original owner of the house, her daughter dies, but then it's later to revealed that she got possessed by the demons in the pool, as a matter of fact. And then the dad ends up being possessed, and then he goes to the bottom of the pool and he dies, saving his family, as a matter of fact. So yeah, that's just basically how the movie ends. And I was not a fan of how this movie was played out. I also was not happy with the outcome of this movie. Yeah, this movie wasn't a winner for me, as a matter of fact. And so yeah, I I just did not care for this movie at all. And to be honest, I hope I never have to watch this movie again, because I was not very satisfied with this movie. I would put this movie below The Black Phone, but the reason why I put it over The Black Phone is because I actually went to the theater to see this movie and I got through the whole thing, but I did not get all the way through The Black Phone, as a matter of fact. Up next at number 7, I have to give it to Afraid. So now a lot of people don't know. Some people don't know about this movie because it wasn't advertised very much. And it did very poorly at the box office because it wasn't advertised so much, because too many people didn't go to see it because it wasn't advertised too much. But it came out in August this year, and to be honest, I thought this was a good, solid movie. But a quick disclaimer: these next movies on the list, I would give a positive rating to, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I really liked Afraid. I'm not so sure what the Rotten Tomatoes on this movie are, because, but I'm gonna look it up here, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I really liked this movie for what it delivered, as a matter of fact. It kind of felt like a little bit like Megan to me, which was a Blumhouse movie that we got last year about the doll. This movie has a 51% audience score and a 24% on Rotten Tomatoes. So yeah, that movie was not highly rated at all. But basically, the reason why I think this movie was kind of like Megan is because it was about this couple that like works at like a toy factory or company or whatever, and then they like invent like this a different version of Alexa. I think it's called like Ivan or something like that. But they end up wanting to get rid of it because it's doing horrible things and causing the kids to make poor decisions, and it gives the kids bad advice, as a matter of fact. So yeah, it basically like creates like terror somehow, as a matter of fact. Like the house is haunted because of that device, as a matter of fact. So yeah, I would recommend you guys watch this movie, even though it's not very highly rated. But I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed this movie for what it did, as a matter of fact. When this movie comes out on disc, I probably will get it at some point, because this will be one that I'll probably watch again next Halloween, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie for what it was. Up next at number 6, I'm going with Imaginary. So this movie was not highly rated at all either. Night Swim wasn't even highly rated at all, and I 100% agree with most of you on Night Swim, but I disagree on Afraid and Imaginary. So now, I really liked Imaginary. Because it had some jump scares, as a matter of fact, that I like. I know a lot of people don't like. I know some people don't like horror movies where it's just like jump scares, because then it just feels like a generic movie and it doesn't feel like anything creative. But personally, I don't mind horror movies that just have like jump scares, as a matter of fact. And basically, this is my kind of movie when it comes to the horror genre. Like, a house is haunted, but the house is not actually haunted. It's the stuffed teddy bear that's haunted, and strange stuff keeps happening because it's all in the little girl's imagination, as a matter of fact. But then the house ends up being haunted, as a matter of fact. And I really liked that whole concept, as a matter of fact. And if you guys have not seen this movie, I would recommend you watch it, because it's pretty good, in my opinion. So, and it comes in at number 6 on my list. Coming in at number 5 is going to be the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. So now, a lot of you guys would probably put this a little bit higher up on your list. Like, probably in like the top 3 for most of you, but for me personally, these next 4 movies I have on this list, I think are a little bit better than the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. But yeah, I enjoyed the Five Nights at Freddy's movie for what it delivered. I know the critics did not like this movie, but the audience score on this movie was pretty high, though. As a matter of fact, so yeah. Let me see what the Rotten Tomatoes are sitting at here, but yeah, I really liked the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, but it's not a movie. But I'm sorry, guys. I'm stuttering right now, so sorry about that. So yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I haven't played much at Five Nights at Freddy's, so I don't have like the big attachment to it. But the Rotten Tomatoes score on Five Nights at Freddy's is sitting at a 32%, and the audience score is 86%. So yeah, it's so yeah, the audience score is pretty high, but the Rotten Tomatoes was not. But yeah, I haven't played much of the games, but from the games that from the little bit I've played of the Five Nights at Freddy's game, this movie really captured the game really well, and I really enjoyed this movie for what it delivered, as a matter of fact. And I cannot wait to see the second movie that comes out next year, as a matter of fact. Up next, at number 4, I have to give it to Halloween Ends. Yes, I know a lot of you Halloween fans did not think that this movie was very good, but ever since I first watched this movie, I've been a huge defender of this movie. But I get it. It didn't feel like they had a whole trilogy's worth of story to tell, so this movie introduces like these new characters, these new subplots that were in like the last 2 movies. So yes, I get it. I get it. It didn't feel like they had a whole trilogy's worth of story to tell, so the ending of this movie should have been combined with Halloween Kills, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie because it felt different from most of the Halloween movies that we've gotten. And I really do like the direction that they went here. I was really happy that they turned the 2018 movie into a trilogy as well, because I really enjoyed the both of those movies after Halloween 2018, as a matter of fact. And to be honest, arguably, the Halloween 2018 is my favorite out of all the Halloween movies, as a matter of fact. And the original is my second favorite, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I'm a defender of this movie because it felt different from all the other Halloween movies that we've gotten, and it just felt, and I just really like the whole concept of this movie, and I thought it ended off this trilogy pretty good with the showdown in the kitchen between Laurie and Michael, and then the way that Michael is crushed to bits, as a matter of fact. I really liked that as well. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how this franchise will continue because I heard this franchise isn't going to stop anytime soon. So I will not be shocked if they're able to create it, if they're able to do another 3 to 5 movies to create a new timeline for this franchise, as a matter of fact. But yeah, since it's most likely going to continue, I'm excited to see where they go next, as a matter of fact. Up next at number 3, getting into the top 3 now, reaching the heavy hitters, I have to go with Speak No Evil. So this movie was just released last month in September, so this movie is the most recent entry on this list, and I really enjoyed this movie. And this is a horror movie case scenario where the critics and the audience agree that this is a good movie, as a matter of fact, because for the audience score, it has a high audience score, a very high Rotten Tomatoes score as well. And yeah, I really enjoyed this movie for what it was. This concept was done really well, and I've heard one of my job coaches at my program actually said when he went and saw this movie, he said he's seen this concept be done 1,000 times, and he said in his opinion, he said in this movie they did this concept the best because it wasn't over the top absurd, like when the guy got stabbed in the head with a hammer, and when that happened, he was afraid that guy was going to get back up and start and go after them again, like Michael Myers. And I kind of figured I was not shocked, actually, that he wasn't going to get back up at all, because this movie was not set in the Halloween or Friday the 13th universe. Like Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers, they all come back, as a matter of fact. And I didn't want this movie to play out like the Halloween or Friday the 13th franchise, because this was not a slasher horror movie. It was about this family that take a vacation, and then they meet a couple and they meet a couple, and then they ended up being psychopaths, as a matter of fact. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie for what it delivered, and this is another horror movie that I do want to pick up when it comes out, as a matter of fact, but it comes in at number 3 on my list. Coming in at number 2, my runner-up is going to be Halloween Kills. So now, like I said with Halloween Ends, I like the entire Blumhouse trilogy. But for some Halloween fans, that was not the case, because everybody really liked the 2018 Halloween movie. And then I heard Halloween Kills got a bunch of mixed reviews, but then a lot of people did not like Halloween Ends. But Halloween Kills, in my opinion, is a little bit better than Halloween Ends. Like all 3 of these Blumhouse Halloween movies are actually in my top 5 favorite Halloween movies, as a matter of fact. Because I really enjoyed all of these movies because I felt they were all different in some way. And Halloween Kills was actually a little bit different compared to Halloween 2018, as a matter of fact. But Halloween 2018 is not on this list because that came out in the year 2018, obviously. So it came out before COVID hit. But Halloween Ends and Kills came out after COVID. So they are post-COVID Blumhouse horror movies, as a matter of fact. And yeah, I really enjoyed this movie for what it was, as a matter of fact. And so yeah, it comes in at number 2 on my list. But for me, easily coming in the first place, I have to give it to Megan. I love this movie. This is another one I have on disc, as a matter of fact. And I think aside from Chucky, this is probably the best killer doll movie that we have gotten. And I cannot wait to see the sequel, Megan 2.0, that comes out next year. So yeah. But I heard in the sequel, it's going to be like the Terminator. Megan's the bad guy in the first movie, but then in the sequel, she's reprogrammed to be the good guy. And so if she's the good guy, I can't wait to see who the villain is in the second movie. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie for what it delivered. And a lot of people enjoyed this movie, and I 100% agree with it. I like the concept in this movie, and I was really happy that this movie was PG-13. So audiences that were like a little bit younger could go and see this movie, because what I originally heard, the movie was supposed to be rated R, but then based on the popularity and the younger audiences that it got, they went back and reshot some stuff to make it PG-13. And I was glad that they did, because this movie didn't really need to be rated R in order for it to be good, as a matter of fact. So yeah. This is one of my favorite horror movies in the recent years, post-COVID, as a matter of fact, and it comes in at number 1 on this list for me. Phew! So there you have it, guys. There's my ranking of all 10 post-COVID Blumhouse movies, as a matter of fact. Be sure to share your ranking down below in the comment section, as a matter of fact. Again, my list is not the right list. It's just my list, and I would love to see your list as well, guys. But without any further ado, guys, those of you guys that are new to the channel, I do more than just movies and physical media related content. I also do Lego related stuff. I play video games. I do all sorts of stuff like that here on my channel. So if you guys like to watch anything like that on YouTube, be sure to go check out my channel, because there will definitely be something in there for you to enjoy, as a matter of fact. And be sure you click like on this video, share this video with your friends, and hit that red subscribe button. But most importantly, make sure you press that notification bell so you don't miss anything in the future. But those of you guys that are not new to the channel, and if you haven't subscribed already, please make sure you go subscribe right after this video, guys. But without any further ado, guys, I'm going to go get bringing back to more videos because more videos are on the way sooner rather than later, as a matter of fact, guys. But with that said, though, guys, take care, drink water, and stay safe, and I will see you all in the very next video. Bye!